What is up, Junkyard family? Yep, we're still working on it. Haven't given up yet. And I don't know if you've seen my short, but I'm pretty sure I found my problem and probably what was the problem the whole time. So I don't. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here we got our turb ski off, and it's pretty rough. But if you take the wheel, it's can't grab it too well here. Hold on. Yeah, and if you push it hard enough, she'll scrape right up against the side. And we got cracks all along, like right here, both sides of the wastegate, which I've been told isn't a real big deal, but yeah. So that's why she was so that's why it would like surge real bad when it was under boost or whatever, or trying to make boost. Because I believe the compressor wheel was struggling to turn because the bearing is so bad. But yeah, so I ordered a header placement here, only one that they make, and I'm looking into an upgraded turbo, which is still pretty much like factory, but it's made by a different company, or I don't know, different center section, a little bigger, but same package. I don't know. Anyways, so we've got her all torn down, got everything off, and I discovered some burnt up wires. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but yeah, so those are melted, and they work the fan, but they're also, I think, for the ambient air temperature sensor. We got another cut wire here. Not for sure why that would go to the hood latch. I don't know. But since I thought I've drained it now for the second time, I would remove the radiator and maybe have to move the condenser. I'm not for sure. And try to pull this harness down a little bit and see what else is melted up in there. Other than that, basically we're just kind of waiting on money now, because it's that turbo. That turbo is like $1,100. Yeah, I paid $1,000 for the car, and I think I've put $1,000 into it with everything that I've done to it, trying to figure out this problem. But at least, you know, it's got a lot of new stuff on it, so there's that, right? So give me a minute. I'm gonna get this towed apart, and we'll inspect it a little further, see if there's some burnt up wires. Like I said, I already fixed that sensor down there, coolant temp sensor number 2. Looks like I need to check out them steel lines too, because they're a little rusty. That wouldn't be good. That's coolant. Yep, alright, so I'll check back with you. Alright, so I'll check back here with you in just like uno momento por favors. 4, 5, something like that. Alrighty, got everything loose, hoses off. Can I lift it out one-handed? Oh snap, look at there. We did it. Alright. Get it out right here. Alright. Perfect. Okay. So for somebody forgot to trim off these little bad boys. They stick way out. That's cool. And we still don't have much room to get into there to this wiring harness right here. Probably have to pull the condenser back. Alright, let's dig a little deeper. Well, it's a couple weeks later, and I have not dug any deeper. I think I pretty much ended the video off right there where I last talked to you. But what I have been doing is some research, trying to find me a turbo, and I was not going to pay $1,100 for a Reman factory one. So what I did is I got on the old interwebbies and I got me one off the old, what's he call it, Jungle website. So I'm going to take it in, I'm going to open up, and we're going to show you what we got. Oh boy. Already, that's cool. And it's just all open in there. So, let's see if we got damage. Well, when I just flipped the package over, it did a nice thud, so that tells me there probably isn't any, like, packing material in there. So who knows how well this is done. And there's just, like, all kinds of, like, that's all bashed. I don't know. This probably isn't going to be good. But whatever. We've got $158 into this thing shipped to my door. Never cut towards you, remember that. The only difference is this one. Oh, there is some type of package in there. So look how awesome. The only difference is this one has like a V-band, and that is way bigger than what I thought. This one has a V-band, and it didn't have any cooling for water, just oil. But it's pretty much like the factory one to a kinda. Here, let me put you down and I'll open it up and we'll both check it out. Alright, well, here's a comparison with the factory one. Yeah, it's quite a bit bigger. Which isn't really a huge deal except for fitment. And let's see, that fits inside of there, so that's great. And then another thing is this one. The fronts, of course, like for reference, this whole thing will go, you know. So hooking up the airbox and everything is going to be something cool. We could go grab one of the pipes, I guess, and kind of see how close it is to that. Yep. It does look like a pretty decent unit though. Like for $158, I can't complain. And it does look like it's going to mount, I think, to this manifold or whatever you call them, header. Because I think it's got the right flange, right? Oh yeah, boy. That looks right. Alright, let me check some of this stuff out and we'll get back and see what happens. We'll mount that to that and then we'll try to hang it in the car and see how much we got to move. Probably the air conditioning. Yep, probably. Alright, boys and girl, I know you're watching. There she is in all her glory. Look, it even comes with a cool little to-go handle. Well, I guess now all that's left is to see if it bolts up. Alright, here we go. I don't know. I don't know. Can't win. I just can't win sometimes. So let's see what we got going on, shall we? Okay. I got it in there. This little tube doesn't line up for nothing, which is fine. We can do away with that. Not a big deal. That just runs to the intake. I think it's like the warm start or something, maybe for winter. I don't know. Had to undo these here, and I evacuated that, of course, professionally and safe. Looped the coolant line because, like I said, this doesn't have coolant going to it. But see, now if you can see how it is, how the header's beautifully made to where the turbo tilts inward towards the engine, which would be alright if the wastegate was on the opposite side, but it's not. Or I should say whatever you want to call it. It's the wastegate, but the actuator for the wastegate. So yeah, and that's hitting right up against the coolant tube, which we can get rid of the hose. I don't care. We can just cap them. We don't need to loop it. But we can't really get rid of the tube because that comes up, I believe, and feeds in here. And I don't know if it's only part of the turbo system, or I believe it comes right off the water pump down here, and that's kind of what's pushing everything. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know what I'm doing here. But the header pretty much fits, but this dang cockeyed thing kind of screws us. We're definitely going to have to get rid of the AC. I don't know, man. I think I'm going to have to send her back and try to find a smaller one, because none of the tubing's going to work. Of course, I'd have to make exhaust, and I think I'll have to make exhaust no matter what I do, but I don't know. I don't know what I should do here. Both the turbo housing is cracked on the exhaust so bad that it's not even worth trying to save or rebuild. The manifold is cracked as well, which that can probably survive, but I do want to run the header. I think I'm just going to have to send this back and get a smaller turbo. I like the big turbo, and I could probably do a reverse rotation like I have inside. That's for a T4 though, and that's even bigger than this, so I don't really want to do that. I don't know. I have to get on the interwebs and still searching. Dang, I thought this was going to be it. I thought we were going to be able to fire it up and check it out, but nope. Well, now there's no reason to not pull the condenser out of there and check out that wiring and try to get that fixed. So alright, I guess that'll do it. This is just going to be a quick one that took 3 weeks to make. I don't know. Alright, we'll see you on the next one.